Today, we're going to do a deep dive on arguably the most important topic for Tesla, their announcements and analysis regarding Robotaxi progress. We're going to cover everything we now know. Tasha Keeney of ARK Invest just said that Tesla's announcement that they will plan to start a paid ride-hail service next year and that they're already testing it in California is a big deal because it's the first time Tesla's confirmed a ride-hail service. Elon Musk replied positively to this statement. Second, we'll show you a video of a Palo Alto City Council member talking about their plans with Tesla to be the location for the service. Third, Freda Duan of Altimeter Capital mapped out the rate of improvement of Tesla's FSD disengagement, and she's proven that the scaling laws do apply and has high confidence Tesla will get to safer than human drivers by Q2 next year, as they've announced. Got Larry Goldberg with us. Larry's going to help me walk me through all of this. Thank you so much, Larry. Appreciate you.
Great to be here.
Thank you so much. I mean, this is a great topic. I'm really excited about this one because I put together all of the things and we're going to break it down of how likely is it the statement that Tesla is going to get to safer than a human by Q2. And we're going to kind of, you've been saying this for a bit now, why it is that these data that we have access to, which is these self-reported data, it's just not good enough. And you got some reasons why that is. So let's start off with it's a birthday for full self-driving. So it's now 4 years old. And you can see here, this is what it used to look like. I was one of the first couple thousand people to actually test FSD beta at the time. And now look where we're at 4 years ago. Happy birthday, full self-driving, says Tesla. Ashok Kalaswamy, who's been in charge of this for a long time, he says, and 12 versions later, we have a single elegant end-to-end driving stack for highway, city, and parking. Sounds like he believes we're at feature complete. This is the table that they shared. And so we can see here that in March, we were at about 1 billion miles. And then now we're at 2 billion miles of FSD driven in just a few months. And the reason why this matters is that once you get to 6 billion, that is the number that they said in the Master Plan Part 3, that if you get to 6 billion, that's when regulatory worldwide approval will have to happen at that point. What's your thoughts on this so far?
You can see that this is an exponential curve. I mean, it's getting steeper and steeper, every couple of months, every month actually. And I think Altimeter's analysis is right on target because I talk from my own experience. Look, I test FSD almost every day, and I've done 5 road trips now of thousands of miles each, using FSD in every trip and in many different cities all across the country, north, south, east, and west, New York City included, San Francisco, Los Angeles, Palo Alto, all of that included. And it's my experience that when you're using FSD on a day-to-day basis in the current state, you tend to intervene quite often for no reason related to FSD, but because you're changing your route.
Yeah, we'll get there. We'll cover that specifically, all those points you were just making. In the meantime, let's take a look at some more information here. You've got Sawyer pointing out that today you've got Tesla owners just now, every day, like you said, you use it every day, on average, 6.4 million miles on FSD supervised per day. This is just an unassailable lead. There's no other company that's able to do something like this. Then you've got Freda Duan saying that we have a unified our software stack, starting with 12.5.6 series releases, end-to-end is now running on both city streets and highway, one stack to rule them all. Phil, of course, works with Ashok in the team. Here's Tasha Keeney. So this is what she took away from that earnings call. She said, Tesla plans to start ride-hail next year and already testing capability in California. So they did confirm that they're already testing it in California. She said, this is huge. At the 1010 event, we heard unsupervised FSD next year, but this is a confirmation that they can start a ride-hail service as well. Autonomous ride-hail should unlock a 10 trillion plus opportunity. She said, but Tesla could also choose to launch a supervised ride-hail service if approval for autonomy takes longer than expected. We've detailed that in the past here. Elon said, yeah, this is correct. This is exactly what she thinks. What's your thoughts about that, Larry?
Well, I'm not going to counter Elon's, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So thank you for that, Larry. The next point here is a few things that Elon and Tesla did say at the earnings call regarding Robotaxi. We expect to roll out ride hailing in California and Texas next year to the public, contingent on regulatory approval. Texas is going to be a lot faster. We'll have it in Texas and probably in California, subject to approval, maybe some other states next year as well. That was a new statement, maybe some other states next year as well. It said that twice. And also, in California, later in the show, we're going to show you the Palo Alto Council, a video of a member there talking about everything that they're talking about. In fact, Tesla could actually just take on their license. So he is pretty confident that Texas regulatory approval will happen. I think it only took Waymo 6 months to get their forms written, but they're still pretty, not sure if they're going to get in California by next year, but they can take on that license. He also said that current internal expectation for FSD is going to be safer than a human by Q2 2025, longer miles between interventions versus humans. We're going to do a deep dive of that now. Here's Freda Duan. She is with Altimeter Capital, and she had a fantastic breakdown. She said the rate of improvement in Tesla's FSD disengagement ratio is stunning. It's proof that scaling laws apply to self-driving and real-world AI. So piecing together everything that they said at the earnings call yesterday, this is what she put together, that at this point, at fourth quarter 2024, we're going to have version 13. And if it is 5 to 6 time improvement versus the 12.5, here's where we're going to get to. Here's a human driver. I think it says 675,000 miles before critical disengagement or an accident. But this is the path that we might get another 5 to 6 time improvement in version 14 in second quarter, and we'll surpass them. What's your expectations about this, Larry?
Well, the version 13 has been delivered, and she's working on, reported numbers to date. And so this is what we're talking about in terms of the rate of improvement. So I think that the biggest stumbling block now, and by the way, one thing we should understand about what Freda is saying is that this is testing on the same, using the same parameters from quarter to quarter to quarter on automated reporting. So I think these are very trustworthy numbers because they use the same methodology. Now, once we get a test going, like in Palo Alto or in Austin, and maybe in due course in San Francisco, we'll get a much better feeling for what the regulatory measurements look like and how they're coming. I think we'll see this start very slowly in terms of licensed or tests, and then very rapidly as the tests mature. And all the time that this is going on during the course of next year, we'll see the product improve and improve and improve. So I think 2026 is looking like a really good period for starting to, amp up that revenue from Robotaxi, and that will, that will coincide with the release of the Robotaxi vehicle itself. So this is looking very good, very good indeed. And we'll be able to measure quarter by quarter. We'll be able to get these numbers quarter by quarter.
Yeah, the confidence between not only Elon, right? This is the team. This is Ashok Alaswamy talking about this. And so you can see that this information that Freda got here to be able to put this together, this table, if you could believe these numbers, like you said, it is from the same source. So you can see here that this notion that it's version 13 is going to be 5 to 6 times improved in terms of miles per critical intervention, which is what Ashok Alaswamy referred to. It came from Tesla third quarter earnings call. This idea that the 12.5 was a 3 times improvement of MPCI, that came from a post that Tesla AI team did. The 12.4, 5 to 10 times improvement over 12.3, that came from Elon's comments. So compared to 12.1, 12.5, it has 100 times improvement, and version 13 will be at 1,000 times improvement. And that is coming from the earnings call yesterday. So if this is all believable. And again, it's the AI team. I believe it. By second quarter, do you expect that they'll be safer than a human driver by that point? And so by comparing it to the human driver, she said this 550,000 miles. I've seen 675, but 550,000 miles per reported accident. That's total reported accidents in the US annually 6 million, and total miles driven is 3.3 trillion. So this means around 60,000 miles per minor incident, which lines up with the average American driving 13.5 thousand miles per year, having an accident every 3 years. What you're thinking about this comparison here?
Yeah, these are fairly solid numbers, actually. It really is very surprising. I mean, I just had in my family, I had my granddaughter have an accident just the other day. A car got totaled. She was fine, but just out of the blue, the car gets totaled. She hasn't been driving for 3 years. I haven't had an accident for I can't even remember the last time I had an accident. I think I got rear-ended about 10 years ago. So it's going to vary, but I think those are really solid statistics. And we're looking to an age where all of this is going to go away. I mean, we really are looking to an age where, well, not all of it's going to go away. We're still going to have, a tenth of the amount of accidents, which, by the way, is pretty bad. But our accident rate compared to some countries in the rest of the world is very low. Some countries in the rest of the world, India has got like many times this number of accidents. So FSD, the potential is just incredible. I mean, it's just incredible.
Okay. And let's continue with her post. And she's talking about comparing it to Waymo. Waymo's miles per disengagement is 17,000. That's according to the California DMV in 2023. So it's highly likely higher now, but the exact number isn't public. So that's,
Well, we don't know what their definition of disengagement is. Yeah. We haven't really. There's been talk about it. We don't have it. Elon's disengagements. I mean, Tesla's disengagements are measured to Tesla standards. Waymo's are measured to California DMV. So we really need to normalize that. But obviously, miles per disengagement of 17K is not bad because we haven't seen any fatalities yet, although there are a few cars out there. That's true.
So she says if the math is right, FSD would hit 100,000 miles per critical intervention by the second quarter of 2025, meaning version 13 is above 10,000 MPCI already. And version 12.5 was at 5,000. So in January 2024, this was likely just 50 miles per disengagement. I can only imagine the scaling here to continue with more data, better inferencing hardware, and more training capacity over time. They haven't even turned that on yet. Okay, so Freda then continues on by asking the question, why does Tesla need a new Cybercab model when they can use the Model 3Y for autonomous driving? She says about cost and adoption. Autonomous driving is a futuristic concept that requires a ton of public education. A sleek, futuristic car with no steering wheel running autonomously is the best ad for self-driving. Makes total sense to me that Tesla saw a significant jump in FSD adoption post-1010. Also, Cybercab will cost around $25,000 with 5 times better cycle times and reduced parts, making an efficient choice for cycling.
And it's going to be able to charge using wireless charging, which is a huge deal for FSD. So it is a car designed for the product. Our standard cars are not really designed for the product. It's designed to waste a seat for the driver. It's designed to have this empty front seat. The rear seats in most passenger cars are not that comfortable. There are a whole host of reasons why An Robotaxi is a different product to a standard, car that has FSD on it. And the product is designed for the surface. So ideal solution.
The big question that everybody asks, like you were saying at the beginning, is how do we trust Tesla's numbers? How do we trust Waymo's numbers? How do we trust this community provided website that's tracking a bunch of people driving FSD? So here we've got what's causing the discrepancy between my math and engagement ratios from trackers, right? That's the engagement that from the trackers. Why does it feel different in a Tesla versus a Waymo in terms of the urge to disengage? So this is her thinking. She goes, I think most tracker data comes from user-reported disengagements, right? And when sitting in the driver's seat, you naturally feel more responsible, leading to a stronger urge to intervene. But that doesn't mean every disengagement was necessary to avoid an accident. The experience sitting in the passenger seat, like in Waymo, feels entirely different, out of sight, out of mind. And then I think I saw somewhere else, where was that? Where she was talking about how if you are, that a lot of disengagements are happening because people, they, before you get reverse and park and summon, which hasn't happened yet, people disengage when you're driving FSD, when you get to that last few seconds. What's your thinking about?
There are so many reasons for there's just so many reasons for disengagement. This whole discussion about disengagement is based on fallacious numbers, as she points out, because these self trackers or these auto trackers don't allow for disengagements that are made for non-safety or non-drive problems. So, and I don't know what the percentage is. I know it's pretty darn high in my case. Exactly, parking, change your mind. You want to override the standard settings on your FSD. So there are a host of reasons why you intervene. A host of reasons, and one of the reasons you intervene is you're a little bit embarrassed to be stopping at the stop street itself, and so we probably have to put up a notice on a Robotaxi. We stop at all stop streets. That's because of NHTSA. So that could be 100. That could be a very large percentage of all interruptions. Just forcing the car to go through the stop street. So there are a whole host of reasons.
Okay, good. So one thing is that we need to understand this engagement rate, and Freda outlined why she thinks it's actually real of what Tesla and Elon is saying. So the other big news, of course, is that they're going to launch a paid ride-hailing service in California and Texas next year. And then we heard from Palo Alto, the city, the council there, saying that they're confirming that they're in talks with Tesla to potentially allow testing of the Robotaxi on the local roads. They already have a Palo Alto link, which already has Robotaxis that they're testing, allowing people to pay it and do that, but they're heavily subsidizing it. And they already have a license. And so he said that we can actually even give Tesla that license if they need it. And then he was at the 1010 event, as many people were, to watching this over. So let's listen to what he says.
Discussions with Tesla. So as you guys know, the Palo Alto Link program loses quite a bit of money per ride. I think everyone in the community really loves it. But the big question that we've all been discussing is, how do we fund it? And some of you guys might have seen the event last Thursday where Tesla announced the Robotaxi event in LA. I was down there, I saw the technology, the cars, the self-driving. It's very impressive. They actually built a car just for this service. Relatively inexpensive, about $30,000. So Tesla has the technology, they have the hardware, but they're looking for test areas, and that's where Palo Alto comes in. So as some of you might know, Palo Alto has Tesla's headquarters, their engineering headquarters here, where they do a lot of the development R&D in terms of they need an area to kind of test this technology out. And so Ed Chicata, myself, our chief transportation official, we had a discussion last week about this. Tesla will provide the safety drivers. There wouldn't necessarily be a charge to any charge to the city. So this means that we could provide this service to the community at still really great prices. Terms still need to be determined, and because Tesla has a lot of cars, they could probably handle the peak load better than the current Link service. The one issue though that has to be determined is Tesla doesn't. While they have the technology, they have the hardware, they don't have necessarily the license to pick people up. So there's discussion about potentially going under the Palo Alto Link's license. But that's just a quick update, and happy to chat more with you guys if you're interested.
Wow. Okay. So this is Elon replying to that saying, that's cool. This is a great discussion. It sounds like that they're further ahead than we realize. And it sounds like this is going to be a perfect partnership.
Yeah, this is massive. I mean, it could be very incredible news, but it's not going to be the last. I mean, I'm telling you, Florida are going to step in pretty darn soon. We're going to see many, many, many geographies put up their hands and say, "Me too, please," and reach out like Palo Alto have done with all kinds of inducements to Tesla. So this thing could take off like crazy once it gets started. Crazy. So it's pretty exciting.
Yeah, they're farther ahead than we realize. The other thing that they addressed was people with hardware 3 cars. They're worried that they wouldn't be able to do full autonomy. Well, Elon did say that there is some chance that hardware 3 cars does not achieve a safety level. It might still happen, he said. It didn't sound like he was confident that it will not happen, but he was just giving that opportunity. He goes, if it does turn out that case, we will upgrade those computer boards to hardware 4 for free. So that was a very important thing. And then Cybercab, we do feel confident that Cybercab's reaching volume production, not starting production, volume production in 2026. I think it's at least 2 million units per year. Let's listen to what he actually said.
With lower cost vehicles, with the advent of autonomy, something like a 20 to 30% growth next year is my best guess. And then Cybercab reaching volume production in 26. I do feel confident of Cybercab reaching volume production in 26, not just starting production, but reaching volume production in 26. And that, that should be substantial growth. We're aiming for, at least 2 million units a year of Cybercab. That'll be in more than one factory, but I think it's at least 2 million units a year, maybe 4 million ultimately. These are just my best guesses, but if you ask me what my best guess is, those are my best guesses.
Yeah, pretty confident. What do you think, Larry?
Yeah. I'd be fascinated to know which factories he's talking about, though.
There's 2 of them, he said.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I know one is going to be Texas, but
yeah,
where is the other factory going to be? That's a very interesting question, right?
Yeah, likely Shanghai.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. There's no space in Shanghai. I don't know, I don't know where they're going to make the space, or have they made the space already in improving the production lines? That's very interesting. Mm. And the other possibility is where they're building the plant out for the for energy. That's a very large factory. It's more than double the size of the current Lathrop factory.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, then we just did a whole roundup of all the things that was said about Robotaxi. They filled in a lot of information that we were missing. But the key thing is we're launching in 2 states next year. They gave their commentary that they feel pretty confident they'll get it done for sure in Texas. California, they said, it takes a long time to fill out forms. But then you got the Palo Alto people saying, hey, you can use our license already for that. Then they're talking about paid Robotaxi service, and not only 2 states. He said that could be multiple states by the end of that year. That's 2025. And then by 2026, they're feeling so confident about this. They're feeling so confident about this because they believe that they'll hit better than safer than human by middle of next year, just in time for these pilots. And they're so confident about it. He's talking about volume production of Cybercab in 2026, not just launch it. If they were like, FSD might not be there yet, maybe in another 2 years. This is no longer Elon saying, I think we're going to, I'd be so shocked if it didn't happen within this year, FSD reaching Robotaxi. No, they're putting money in factories to build these cars.
Numbers are amazing. I think if they manage, 750,000 vehicles in the first year, which they'd have to get to 2 million in due course.
Yeah.
At $20,000 a car, that's $15 billion. And, and then when they get to 2 million cars, that's $40 billion. I mean, that's, a whole quarter's worth of current revenue.
And this is before the scaled of Giga Texas supercomputer. But of course, even that, they're ahead of schedule. They already have 50,000 H100s online, or they just will have it online by next week.
I was amazed to hear that. You know, they haven't got the cooling towers running yet. The
Well, they had
building
two.
is not really complete.
They had two fans, two of the fans running already.
Okay.
Yeah. Joe Tegmeyer just reported that yesterday. So
I missed yesterday's report. Well, I didn't know that. Well, there you go. Wow.
Yeah.
Those guys are booking. I'm telling you, they're booking. I mean, it's amazing. By the way, do you know how long Ashok has been at
I guess
Tesla?
you know. No, I think 10 years.
Yeah,
What do you think?
January next year will be his 11th. It will be the end, you know, his 11th year booked. You know, I'm doing an analysis of all of employees at Tesla, and the length of tenure of the management levels 1, 2, and 3. You know, from C level through the VP, through senior VP level, through the VP level, and down to you know, the senior managers, all over 10 years.
Wow.
Average across. So it's quite an amazing story. Quite an amazing story.
Yeah, we started this show with the FSD being launched 4 years ago, and then they're just, you know, appropriately very proud of where they're at today. We're almost at the line here, and it just feels like that the information that they're sharing and the confidence that they're saying it, that they do believe Robotaxi will be achieved next year. So we're following it closely. We'll see more. Thank you so much, Larry. Follow him at X, Tesla Larry. Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye. I've created a website that is the most comprehensive resource for the Tesla investor. Please check it out. Simply go to my website at herbertong.com.